The travel company TUI has launched an investigation into complaints by a number of passengers that Covid mask rules weren't followed on a flight from the Greek island of Zante to Cardiff. 200 people were told to self-isolate after 16 coronavirus cases were linked to passengers on the flight. One passenger said that no distancing was enforced on the plane. Emma Birchley reports.
For 2 weeks, the Greek island of Zante, with its crystal clear waters, provided the perfect escape for Stephanie Whitfield and her husband. Then came the flight home to Cardiff on Tuesday.
There wasn't much social distancing and people didn't seem to be very well educated in the use of wearing masks. We had people wearing it underneath their noses, underneath their chins, people taking the mask off to talk to other people.
In fact, they were so worried, they'd already decided to self-isolate, even before news emerged that 16 passengers on TUI flight 6215 had tested positive for Covid. 7 were thought to be potentially infectious while on the plane. TUI says it's concerned to hear about Mrs Whitfield's claims and a full investigation is underway, making it clear that passengers are informed both before and during the flight of the need to wear masks, except when eating and drinking. Now there are questions about how long it's taking health officials to contact the 193 people on board to tell them to self-isolate.
If ever there was a case study for why arrival testing at airports needs to be introduced as soon as possible, then this TUI flight is it. They could have captured everybody coming off the flight, immediately tested them, then asked them to quarantine for 5 days and then do a second test. And if that process had been carried out, as other countries are doing, then they would have been able to contact everybody straight away.
Many airlines have been strictly enforcing the rules, but there's concern about whether those rules are up to the job.
If, for, say, over 95% of the flight time, everyone wore the mask properly, then it would be some degree of additional protection afforded to all the passengers and the crew on that airline. On the other hand, if they are only wearing the mask for about, say, 50% or less during the flight, then actually on a full flight, it is only very symbolic and nobody is being protected in that case.
About 30 people returning to Wales from different parts of Zante on different planes have tested positive for the virus in the past week. It's hard to tell when the passengers on Tuesday's flight were infected. Now Stephanie has developed a mild cough and sore throat. She and her husband will be tested on Tuesday to see if they should be added to that list. Emma Birchley, Sky News.